Rybakina beats Sabalenka for first Australian Open title. Elena Rybakina inflicted further Grand Slam final heartbreak on world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka with a dramatic third-set fightback to win her first Australian Open title. Kazakh 5th seed Rybakina was 3-0 down in the final set, with Sabalenka looking set for a 5th major singles trophy. However, Rybakina won 5 successive games before completing a 6-4, 4-6, 6-4 victory to avenge her loss to two-time winner Sabalenka in the 2023 final. This was US Open champion Sabalenka's third defeat in her past 4 major finals, following disappointing losses in last year's Australian Open and French Open showpieces. The Belarusian had broken Rybakina's impressive serve late in the second set and again early in the decider to take control in her bid for a third Australian Open title in 4 years. But Sabalenka surrendered her advantage, tightening as the finish line drew closer and producing 3 unforced errors to allow Rybakina to break for a second time and hit the front. The 26-year-old Rybakina then maintained her composure superbly to serve out the match with an ace and claim her second major trophy following her 2022 Wimbledon triumph. Rybakina wins Battle of Big Hitters. In a meeting between 2 of the biggest hitters on the women's tour, Rybakina neutralized Sabalenka's trademark power with clean ball striking and clutch serving, before digging deep in the deciding set. Sabalenka has spent 75 weeks at the top of the rankings and remains the dominant player in the women's game, particularly on hard courts, with this her 7th consecutive major final on the surface. But Rybakina has emerged as the Belarusians' kryptonite after winning 7 of their past 9 hard court encounters. Having appeared on course for an impressive comeback win, Sabalenka sat with her towel over her head as she contemplated that yet another final had slipped from her grasp. Rybakina, meanwhile, was able to celebrate a hugely impressive run to the title, having also overpowered world number 2 Iga Swiatek and 6th seed Jessica Pegula on her way to the final. She has now won her past 10 matches against fellow top 10 players and is the first player to claim the title by defeating 3 top 10 players in each round from the quarterfinals onwards since Naomi Osaka in 2019. Rybakina is undoubtedly the form player on the WTA Tour, boasting more wins than anyone else since the end of Wimbledon last year, 38, and losing just once in her past 21 matches. Melbourne's new queen, Rybakina's triumph in the Australian sun. In the relentless summer heat of Melbourne, beneath the bright lights of Rod Laver Arena, a remarkable story of resolve, power, and redemption unfolded. On Saturday evening at the Australian Open 2026, Elena Rybakina, the 5th seed and one of the most formidable servers on the women's tour, achieved a defining moment in her career. She defeated world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka in a thrilling 3-set final, 6-4, 4-6, 6-4, claiming her first Australian Open title and second Grand Slam crown after her 2022 Wimbledon victory. This was not merely a win, it was a redemption arc crafted on the biggest stage of Australian tennis. 3 years ago, in 2023, Sabalenka had edged Rybakina in a final that showcased raw talent but tilted in Sabalenka's favor. This time, Rybakina flipped the script and left Melbourne with her head held high. A tale of 2 titans: power, precision, and perseverance. The match was a masterclass in tennis tension, combining soaring serves, brutal baseline rallies, and psychological duels that swung like a pendulum between competitors. From the opening rallies, both women brought their trademark intensity. Rybakina, with her towering presence and fluid, flat ground strokes, struck 28 winners and revealed remarkable poise in crucial games. Sabalenka, the Belarusian powerhouse and world number 1, retaliated with ferocious serves and penetrating returns, a force in her own right and a 4-time major champion entering the match with immense confidence. The first set went to Rybakina, whose calm aggression kept Sabalenka scrambling. She combined penetrating first serves with agile court coverage to secure key breaks. Sabalenka, ever resilient, fought back in the second set, harnessing her power to shift momentum and push the match into a deciding third. Down 0-3 early in the final set, many expected Sabalenka's momentum to surge. Instead, Rybakina unleashed a stunning comeback, winning 5 straight games to seize control of the set and, ultimately, the championship. The match ended fittingly with an ace, a symbol of Rybakina's assertive presence in the final points, as she clinched the title on her first championship match point. Redemption and resilience, Rybakina's journey. Elena Rybakina's career had never lacked promise. Born in Moscow and representing Kazakhstan since 2018, she rose rapidly through the ranks, becoming the first Kazakhstani woman to deeply imprint her name on the sport's biggest stages. Her graceful yet powerful game earned her a Wimbledon title in 2022, confirming her Grand Slam pedigree. Yet, Rybakina's path to this Australian title was shaped by both triumphs and trials. After the high of Wimbledon, she struggled to clinch additional majors, often challenged by Sabalenka's relentless energy. Critics questioned whether she could convert talent into major success after Wimbledon. However, Rybakina responded by tightening her serve, sharpening her return game, and reinforcing her mental fortitude under pressure. Her victory at the WTA Finals in late 2025 hinted at this resurgence and foreshadowed the moment when she might finally unseat Sabalenka on the biggest Grand Slam stage. Entering the 2026 Australian Open, she was a player transformed, not just in technique, but in belief. Sabalenka's strength and the rivalry's growing legacy. Aryna Sabalenka, the top seed, remains one of the sport's most intimidating players. A champion of multiple majors, Sabalenka's fierce serves and aggressive baseline rhythm make her a perennial favorite in any deep tournament run. She had reached 4 consecutive Australian Open finals, a feat unmatched since the era of Martina Hingis in the early 2000s. Their rivalry has become one of the most compelling narratives in women's tennis. Powerful hitters with contrasting styles, Sabalenka's explosive aggression versus Rybakina's measured power, collide in matches that become tactical and mental chess games. Each has pushed the other to refine strategy and resilience, and their encounters feel less like one-off battles and more like chapters in an ongoing epic. While Sabalenka will undoubtedly return with her trademark intensity and hunger for titles, this loss in Melbourne suggests that the scales are now delicately balanced. From both competitors, fans can expect even greater drama in future Grand Slam showdowns. The broader impact, what this win means for Rybakina. For Rybakina, this triumph is historic in several ways. It marks her first Australian Open title and establishes her as a leading fixture on hard courts, not just grass. It provides emotional redemption after the narrow 2023 final defeat. It potentially signals a career renaissance, with renewed confidence to challenge for more Grand Slams and major honors. Beyond the trophies and headlines, it reflects a critical evolution, a shift from promising contender to champion under pressure. In a sport that frequently demands reinvention, Rybakina has showcased a rare blend of power, poise, and tactical maturity.